Hello everyone, I'm HTTYD, and welcome to What If Deku Was a Dragon Rider Part 3, and holy censoring because it's still early in the video. Anyway, how? This is nuts! This is not what I expected to be my most popular series. What's the engagement ratio anyway? 78% unsubscribed? That means if all of you subscribe, it might push me to 500 subscribers. Anyway, I'm going to keep this series at 15 likes for the next part for now, until it gets to the point where you guys do that in one day. Let's get going.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks.
So our job is to protect this. It's paper mache. Hey. Ida turned to the hothead that was, unfortunately, his partner. Deku is mine. Got it? There seems to be some history between you two? Bakugo clenched his fist. He was a nobody. A quirkless loser. Then one day he falls in a hole in the middle of the ocean and suddenly everyone looks up to him like he might as well already have a hero license. I'm going to remind that nerd of his place. All Might's voice came over the speaker. Ready? Start! Bakugo, we must stay on guard. I know you have some sort of grudge against Midoriya, but you shouldn't run off on your own. I'm not running off on my own, Four Eyes. Deku's heading right for us, right now. What? The window shattered as Kuro burst through the window with Deku and Uraraka on his back. Kuro charged forward towards the bomb. Bakugo jumped in the way and threw an explosion at the three. Deku quickly swerved upward and turned, landing next to the broken window, growling. Deku dismounted. Kuro swerved around the room and jetted to the bomb. Ida grabbed the bomb and started running with it. Kuro was catching up. He started making sharp turns, forcing Kuro to slow down. Bakugo stared down Deku. He charged, readying a right hook. He was about to hit when a metal shield suddenly got in the way. It protected Deku from the explosion, and he tossed Bakugo over. Bakugo quickly got up. He eyed Deku's shield. It shone brightly and had a sigil resembling Kuro on it. It appeared to be made of multiple plates of metal. What the hell is that, Deku? Bakugo charged again. Deku quickly pulled out a small rod. Suddenly, a flaming blade extended out one end and cut Bakugo's arm, leaving the wound burnt. He pulled back. I'm not going to be your punching bag anymore, Kachan. From now on, Deku is the name of a hero! Bakugo charged in fury, but Deku stepped to the side. He retracted the flaming blade and hit a button on the object. A green gas began to seep out of the object, creating a small green cloud. Bakugo charged and Deku jumped out of the way. Bakugo's explosions igniting the gas, blasting him. You stupid nerd! Bakugo put his arm towards Deku and grasped his gauntlet. These gauntlets store up my sweat, he smiled. That's the source of my quirk. Wait, are you? That's right, I'll blow you away! No, young Bakugo! All Might yelled on the comms. That'll kill him! Deku charged forward as Bakugo reached for the pin. As he pulled, Deku pushed Bakugo's arm upward, changing the aim. The ceiling and floors above were destroyed. Everyone was stunned, including Bakugo. Until he smiled. You're wide open. Bakugo slammed down in an explosion. Deku lowered himself and jumped back. Just a moment after the explosion went off, All Might sounded over the speaker. The bomb has been captured! Hero team wins! What? Bakugo turned around. He saw Ida with an arrow sticking out of one of the gaps in his armor, and Uraraka hugging the bomb. He replayed what happened in his mind. When he slammed down that last explosion, Deku did a strange, low jump backwards. The arm with the shield on it, it was pointing a bit outward. It was pointing in the same direction. He hit Ida with the arrow to cause him to slow down. Deku walked over to Ida. Sorry about the arrow, Ida. He helped Ida with the arrow. How did he hit Ida? He was moving so fast, and he was covered in all that armor. Bakugo couldn't understand what was going on. Young Bakugo? Huh? What? Bakugo looked around. He was in the observation room. Are you alright, young Bakugo? Yeah, I'm fine. Alright, now, the MVP is young Midoriya. Not only was he able to determine a strategy that succeeded, but he also aided his ally while in his own fight. Momo spoke up and listed some other things. Bakugo wasn't paying attention. He was in a daze. He was in a daze for the rest of class. He was in a daze for the rest of the day. He was still in a daze the next day. Even though I've been chosen as class rep, I'm not entirely sure I'm qualified for it. You are! Uraraka reassured him between bites of food. It'll be fine. Your courage, judgment, and ability at critical moments makes you worth following. That's why I voted for you. It was you? But didn't you want to be class rep too, Ida? You've got the glasses. Wanting to do it and being suitable for it are completely different issues. I merely did what I judged to be correct. Merely? Oh, I've been thinking. Are you rich, Ida? I tried to change how I talked because I didn't want people to know. Deku and Uraraka stared at Ida. My family has been heroes for generations. I'm the second son. Do you know the turbo hero, Ingenium? Of course! He's a really popular hero who has 65 sidekicks working at his Tokyo agency. Don't tell me. He's my elder brother. He's a likable hero who honors the rules and leads people. I set my sights on being a hero because I want to be like my brother. However, I think it's still too soon for me to lead others. Unlike me, Midoriya realized the point of the practical portion of the entrance exam, so he is far more suitable for the job. I actually didn't. I just helped because it was what someone should do. I see. That actually proves my point even more. You genuinely helped for the sake of helping. Suddenly, the alarm started to go off. There has been a level 3 security breach. All students, please evacuate outdoors promptly. What's level 3 security? It means someone got onto school grounds. I've never seen anything like this. The upperclassmen got up and started running. You should hurry too! Deku, Ida, and Uraraka hurriedly got up. Kudo! Deku communicated. Kudo, who was sleeping on the roof of the building, quickly woke up. Someone broke in! Go check out what's going on! Kudo started flying around. The three in the building got swept up in the crowd. Kudo went around to the front. People with cameras and microphones. Cameras and microphones? Deku thought. He then realized. Everyone calm down! It's just the press! But his words were drowned out by the panic. He took a deep breath. He yelled, Everybody calm down! His voice was much louder than what anyone would think humanly possible. It was just the press. There's no need to panic. Everything is all right. They're legal trespassers, you know. You could call them villains. Think we can beat them up? Don't do it, Mike. They'll write up a bunch of half-truths about you. Let's wait for the police. Come on! Just give us a loud roar silenced the media, startling all of them, and even making some fall over. It was silent for a mere moment, until President Mike started laughing. Oh man, I'm starting to like that dragon more and more! Police sirens started to blare in the distance. Finally. Goodbye, bad mass media! Bakugo was still in a daze.
Bakugo.
How?
Bakugo.
How did that damn nerd beat me?
Bakugo.
Is he really better than me? There's no way that can be true. Oi, Bakugo! Bakugo was snapped out of his daze. Huh? Kaminari just said your personality is steeped in sewage. I thought something like that would make you blow up. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Bakugo returned to his daze. We're here. Stop messing around. The bus stopped and Kuro jumped off the roof. The students left the bus to find 13 standing there waiting for them. She welcomed them inside and explained the USJ. She started a speech about how quirks can be dangerous. Something weird happened. Aizawa said something. Those are villains. Villains? Bakugo snapped out of his daze and looked to the middle of the USJ. There were many villains coming out of a black portal. The trespassing the other day was all the work of these scumbags, huh? Yaoyorozu spoke up. Sensei, what about the trespasser sensors? We have them, but did they only appear here or around the whole school? Todoroki interjected. Either way, if the sensors are not responding, that means they have someone with a quirk that can interfere with technology. An isolated area separated from the main campus during a time when a class is supposed to be here. They might be fools, but they're not dumb. This surprise attack was carefully planned with some sort of goal in mind. 13. Start the evacuation. Try calling the school. These villains even had something to counteract the sensors. It's possible someone with a radio wave type powers is interfering. Kaminari, you try contacting the school too. Deku spoke up. What about you, sir? Will you be able to fight by yourself? With that many, even if you can erase their quirks, your fighting style is capture after erasing the enemy's quirk. A frontal battle is... You can't be a hero with just one trick. I'm leaving it to you, 13. Aizawa jumped into the fray. He started taking villains left and right. Even when they thought they had the upper hand, they still couldn't land a finger on him. 13 started leading the students to the exit. As they were running, a black portal appeared in their path. Nice to meet you. We are the League of Villains. It may be presumptuous of us, but we have invited ourselves into the home of heroes, UA High School, in order to have All Might, the symbol of peace, take his last breath. I believe All Might should have been here. Has there been some kind of... The black shadowy figure was interrupted by an explosion in his face. Kirishima quickly followed Bakugo's lead and attacked him as well. Did you consider that you'd get beaten by us before you did? The smoke began to clear. Oh dear, that's... The shadowy mass was interrupted once again by an explosion. How impudent. Move to the side, you two! The shadowy mass spread, enveloping everyone. Bakugo and Kirishima found themselves falling. When they hit the ground, they found themselves in a decrepit building. Where are we? Kirishima asked. Bakugo put up his fists. Villains ran through the opening. Bakugo blasted the ones that came in immediately, sending them flying back out. One came out his side. He blasted them, indenting them into the wall. One came from above Kirishima. He held his arms above and hardened them, blocking the attack. He threw his arms apart, tossing the attacker to the side. He punched them, knocking them out. 3 more assailants came at them. 2 went for Bakugo. 1, wielding some sort of blade, went for Kirishima. Bakugo yelled, "Ah!" He blasted his attackers into the wall. Kirishima broke his attacker's blade and chopped them in the neck. Alright, let's hurry up and go save the others. If we're here, then everyone else should be inside the USJ too. I'm worried about the guys with less offensive abilities. Besides, 13 got slowed down because we ran ahead. If 13 had been able to suck up that fog, then this wouldn't have happened. As men, we have to take responsibility for what we did. It was silent for a moment. Yeah, you're right. Bakugo threw an explosion, exposing and taking down a chameleon-looking villain. Whoa, how'd he know he was there? Kirishima thought. Anyway, are you alright? Before the heroes versus villains training, you were always so angry and quick to a fight, but now you're... I don't know, spaced out? Bakugo turned away. When we were kids, Deku was always weak. A weakling I would push around. He told me he didn't know what his quirk is. I thought he was lying and that he actually didn't have a quirk. Then one day he comes back from vacation with a quirk and an overgrown lizard at his side. No big deal. I was still better than him, right? But then in training he beat me. He did something impossible and it wasn't even related to his quirk. How did he beat me? How did he beat me? That was what Bakugo wanted to say. But instead he said, it's nothing. Tsuyu, Kuro, Deku, and Mineta were at the shore of their shipwreck zone. They watched as Aizawa expertly fought back the villains. Shigaraki charged towards him. They rushed forward and clashed, Aizawa elbowing him in the abdomen, only for Shigaraki to grab him, and his elbow started to decay. Aizawa punched him away and jumped back. He quickly took care of some more villains that charged at him. So cool. So cool. By the way, hero, I'm not the final boss. Aizawa looked behind him to see a large black humanoid creature with wings and patches of blue scales, as well as a beak and exposed brain. It started pounding Aizawa, brutalizing him. The quartet looked in horror. Kuro growled for a second. What? That's impossible! There's no way! Kuro growled again. What's he saying, Midoriya? Tsu asked. He's saying that the creature attacking Aizawa, it's scent. There's natter mixed into it. Natter? It's a kind of tracker class dragon with magnesium-based fire. As if on cue, the creature breathed fire, emulating Aizawa's arm into ash. He gave a blood-curdling scream. But that doesn't make sense. I don't understand. I erased his quirk. How did he breathe fire? The creature grabbed Aizawa's head and slammed it into the pavement. Kurogiri appeared at Shigaraki's side. A few seconds later, he started scratching at his neck. We can't win against dozens of pros. It's game over. Man, it's game over this time. Let's go home. They're going home? Did he say they're going home? That's what I heard. Oh yeah, before we leave, let's smash some of his pride. Shigaraki charged towards the group. Kuro smacked him in the stomach, sending him back. Shigaraki landed on both his feet and one hand. How annoying. Kuro! Plasma blast at his feet! Kuro left off a plasma blast towards Shigaraki, creating a huge dust cloud. As the dust cleared, the creature was standing between the group and Shigaraki. It had taken the hit and was unharmed. Nomu, destroy them. The Nomu took a breath in. Kuro quickly tackled Nomu, knocking it back, throwing off its aim. The Nomu smacked Kuro away. It took a deep breath. When the doors burst open, there stood All Might. It's fine now. I am here. All Might swiftly took out numerous villains and grabbed the three students. Kuro flew to catch up. All Might brought them to Aizawa. Kuro landed close. Everyone, go to the entrance. I'm leaving Aizawa to you. He's unconscious. Hurry! All Might, wait! That creature. I don't know why, but Kuro smells natter on it. And it has the traits of a dragon. And they said it was engineered to kill you. Be careful, young Midoriya. It's fine. Deku set Aizawa on Kuro's back. Careful, he's weak. Kuro swiftly and gently brought Aizawa to the front and came back. The three got on Kuro and rode to the front with everyone else. They got off and a large dust cloud formed in the middle of the plaza. The cloud cleared and everyone saw the Nomu clutching All Might's weak spot. Kuro and Deku looked at each other. They were thinking the same thing. Deku hopped onto Kuro and took off before anyone else could even ask what he was doing. All Might! Deku's voice echoed through the entire USJ. Kuro charged up a plasma blast and shot it into Kurogiri. The portal closed on Nomu, cutting it in half, but it quickly regenerated, it now sporting a tail covered in spines. It gave a roar while flexing the spines. Incinerate him! The Nomu once again took a deep breath and blasted fire at All Might, him dodging effortlessly. That's for... Deku whispered. Kuro blasted Nomu in the face. It swung its tail, shooting numerous spines which quickly grew back. Kuro effortlessly avoided the spines. Deku pulled out his collapsible shield. As they were moving, a warp gate opened to their side, Shigaraki's hand reaching through it. They had no time to turn. Then, Bakugo appeared and blew up the warp gate. He grabbed Kurogiri and set off an explosion on him. Ice covered half the Nomu, which broke apart from the extreme cold. It once again regenerated, having spines covering its right half. First, we need our gate back. Nomu. The Nomu dived for Bakugo. All Might took the blow, pushing him out of the way. The dust cleared, revealing All Might slammed into the wall. Shigaraki proceeded with his speech about his ideals, not really making any sense. Once again, Bakugo was in a daze. I couldn't do anything. That monster was going to hit me and there wasn't anything I could do about it. What's happening? I'm supposed to be strong. I'm supposed to be the best student in the whole class. That nerd and his overgrown lizard avoided that thing's attacks effortlessly. What's happening? And that was part 3 of What If Deku Was a Dragon Rider. I hope you enjoyed it. Before I sign off for today, everyone please like, subscribe, and comment. Once this premieres, there will be a poll posted on my Patreon where you can decide what the new What If is out of 5 possible options. Originally, this was going to be exclusive to Tier 2 patrons, but no one pledged, so this one is available for anyone who just visits. But maybe pledge while you're there. While I'm shamelessly plugging, I also have a low-quality webtoon series I call I Prefer Foxes, where I will detail various stories from my life using bad art. Anyway, 15 likes for part 4. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Mata today!